Grand Rising YouTube family. It is early in the day where I am. I hope this video finds you at a good place in your day, wherever that is. I hope you're doing well. And if you feel like you're not, well, I just want to encourage you that that's a good thing too. Because, you know, God works in mysterious ways. And our tribulations, our trials, our adversities, our difficulties, they're here actually to serve us, to teach us, to help us grow into stronger individuals. So whatever it is you're going through, if you happen to be going through something, I encourage you to see that as a blessing, actually, and to look for the good in that, look for the lesson, and to apply that lesson to your life. As we integrate the information contained within the adversities that we face, and as we allow those things to inform and change the way that we operate in the world, we then transcend those things, right? These are things that are sent to us. They're lesson plans, you guys. All right. So this video is going to be quick, I think. I wanted to talk to you guys really about what I was just mentioning, about how difficulty, tribulation, adversity in life is really what makes us stronger, all right? There's an old saying. It says that strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And then hard times create strong men. And the cycle continues. Now, we can see ourselves as subject to these cycles, similarly to the way that a lot of New Age spiritual people consider themselves subject to astrological things, as if they can't be whoever they want to be, as if they're imprisoned by their zodiac sign, and they say, this is just how I am because the stars said so. We don't have to be defined by these cycles. We have more power than that. We have more sovereignty than that, all right? But the world wants to convince us that that's not the case. That's a lie. It is the case. You do have sovereignty of mind, body, spirit. But of course, to achieve that requires some work, requires some sacrifice, requires obedience, requires discipline. Okay? Freedom through obedience. It's a paradox, but it's true, it's real. And so, what I wanted to really emphasize in this video is this concept of convenience, convenience stores, fast food. Convenience is a silent killer in this world. So at some point, strong men created easy times. Those easy times have created weak men. And nowadays we have weak men creating hard times. But again, like I said, we don't have to be subject to these natural cycles. You see, we can transcend this. And so the way I see it is that I can voluntarily face discomfort. Now, semen retention is a way to do that. You're transcending something. You're breaking free of something by virtue of adhering to laws, to principles, to standards. See how that works? Same thing is true. I'm about to go to the gym. Now, part of me really wants to go, part of me doesn't, because what I'm about to do there is going to be hard. It's going to take work. It's going to be uncomfortable at points. But I choose this because I know it makes me stronger. Same is true with ice baths and cold plunges. That's why this is so important, especially if you're a man. It's one of the most profound tools you could ever utilize, because getting in some cold water is totally safe. It's really good for your physiology and your brain chemistry on so many levels. So it's safe, but it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable at first, but the more you face that discomfort willingly, the more comfortable the discomfort gets. And see, that's when you started to transcend. That's when you really start to break free. That's when you really start to get sovereign as an individual. All right? A lot of people nowadays, I'm sure you've noticed this, they have a hard time thinking for themselves. Follow the leader. Listen to the experts. Trust the authorities. This sort of mentality. They're not thinking for themselves because they've lost their sovereignty. All right? So now is time for all of us to reclaim our sovereignty as individuals, no matter what anybody's going to have to say or think about it. Because being that we are in a world full of conformists, the conformists will see those breaking free of that and discovering their own sovereignty, and they'll feel intimidated, jealous even. And you might start to feel outcast, judged, etc., etc. But you know what? If that's the case, celebrate that. That's a great sign that you are basically exiting the matrix is what's happening. Just like in the movie, when Neo starts figuring things out, all the agents come and try and pull him back in the matrix. This stuff gets very, very tricky. So people that try to pull you down, well, that's a sign that you're moving up. So the job that we have is to be unaffected by the haters, the judgers, the watchers, the agents, etc., etc. Stay focused on what you're doing. Be willing to face discomfort. Be willing to even create scenarios in your life where you are going to safely face discomfort as a way to cultivate strength. And also the ability to articulate and speak confidently in truth, right? So the thing about truth, when you tell the truth, a lot of people aren't going to like it. You're going to make them uncomfortable. But do you see that? How if I were to create an easy time for another man, if I were to make things too easy for another man, I'm helping him stay weak. See, very strong men can handle the truth because they're already in this process. They're already living this lifestyle. They're already doing the shadow work, right? But if a weaker man wants to hear cozy, comfortable lies from me, well, they're with the wrong person, because I will no longer do that. I won't coddle anybody. Why? Because I have faith in your strength. I have faith in your ability to handle the truth. The truth shall set you free. Oftentimes, it will piss you off first. It will make you uncomfortable. But that's good. That's good. That's making you strong. This world, as it is now, needs strong, principled, conscious, disciplined men. We need men who are capable, physically capable of handling themselves in an altercation, yet wise enough to not end up in those situations in the first place. You see, it's all vibrational. You find yourself in arguments, engagements with people. That's probably a sign that something you're doing is contributing to that, and you've got to self-reflect and figure out what that is. All right? So I'm somebody that feels quite confident if it came to like a physical altercation. However, I don't tend to ever experience that anymore. I used to, not anymore, because my vibration has changed, right? Semen retention has changed my vibration. Surrender to God has changed my foundation. Right now, it's one thing to do renovations on the surface of a building and change the facade, the exterior. But if the foundation's the same, it's the same building. You see, when we surrender to God, we start practicing things like semen retention, we experience a foundational shift. It's almost like we went from being an apple tree to an orange tree, something like that. We literally, our foundation is different. And so everything that flowers and fruits out of that foundation, everything that grows and is built upon that foundation is now different. We don't need to work on the facade. The foundation has changed. That's really where it's at, you guys. And it takes work, it takes sacrifice. Most importantly, it takes surrender. All right? So I just wanted to share that with you guys this morning. I hope everybody's doing good. If you're doing bad, give thanks and praise. Because guess what? You're on your way. You're on your way to something better. find the lesson in it, integrate it, and act accordingly. Peace and love.